Hello, welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. We have another 3 stories for you today. Cancellation fee? Make me do fix coworkers' work, okay. And my computer manual was too long. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Alright, let's get started. Our first story. Cancellation fee? Wow. My last post did so well. Thanks for the overwhelming number of upvotes. I have another story. My work, yes, the same job where I reported those emails, used to rent their printers from a printer company, and they sucked. We paid over $2,400 a month for just the 8 LaserJet printers, no toner, no supplies, and we had so many issues, network issues, paper/toner issues, and every month we would have to shell out money for one of their technicians to come out and fix their junk. We paid that for over 8 years until we went over the numbers and found out it would be cheaper to buy our own machines, so I called them to end the rental. They did the average spiel, "What can we do to make you stay?" And they were desperate. They said that I would need to pay a small cancellation fee to end my contract, which expires on June 24, 2023. The next day, I had an invoice on my desk for $11,296.34 for the cancellation fee. I called them and they gave me a super, unclear answer on why it's this amount. I looked into this contract we signed 8 years ago, and it said that if we canceled within 14 days, we would incur no cancellation charge and receive a refund for that month, if the printers were in packaging. So, I called them and requested an upgrade to their top-tier package. And I would like all my old, bad, stupid printers taken away and to get top-of-the-line new printers. The total per month was like $8,900 a month, and in this new contract I signed for this new package, the no cancellation charge within 14 days clause was still there. I convinced my financial manager to let me try to gamble $8,900 so we could save $11,000. Worst case, we saved $3,000 on a cancellation fee. Best case, we saved $11,000. They said that in 3 days, my old printers will be taken, and then next week, we can choose models. The day comes, and the printers have been taken. The next day, I called this printer company and said I would like to cancel my contract, and it has been less than 14 days. Out of luck, I got connected to the same person I was talking to about getting these new printers. It took me around 2 hours, but they finally canceled it, and they didn't have to pay a fee. They were totally confused and probably pissed. Anyone who thinks otherwise has to say. Our next story. Make me do fix coworkers' work, okay. I had a coworker widely known to suck at her job, including submitting Medicaid claims, and be untouchable due to her, close relationship with the sole provider of a vital service. Eventually, our place was fine, and the Medicaid license threatened. So, my grandmother thought it was a good idea to force an overworked me to take over the claims. Dumb. As bad as things appeared, within hours I uncovered at least 8 years of fraudulent claims as well as massive amounts of lost income due to unfilled claims. Within 3 days, I realized this would be a huge time investment, including me having to train myself on this specific type of claim. My grand boss refused but gave me a $250/year raise, whoopee. She insisted the problems be ignored and just wanted the fine paid and license secured. So, Ami focused on the fraud already committed as opposed to lost or future income, the opposite of the boss's priority. It took weeks and lots of antacids, but I compiled detailed proof. Then I called the Medicaid Fraud Center. To say shit hit the fan is a huge understatement. The next morning, my supervisor and I were called in by the boss. Apparently an anonymous, policy technicality, fraud report had been filed, and by law she wasn't trying to find the reporter, just discussing the upcoming investigation. I quickly offered that I wasn't concerned about any retaliation, so I identified myself as a reporter. She was lazy and stupid but knew there would be a shitstorm if she tried. Our place had to refund mucho dollar to Medicaid, which our boss had to then explain to her many higher level bosses. Happy days. And our last story. My computer manual was too long. Another post reminded me of this boss. I was a technician at a major semiconductor company working on a project that combined 5 microprocessor boards into one 2-layer printed circuit board. The manual on it was basically 5 times bigger. It had dozens of jumper configurations, serial, parallel, CPU, and RAM modules, so it needed it all. This is highly technical stuff that had to be perfect, including the manual. I needed the boss's signature on that manual to start a release process to get other signatures to get it released to production. Testing, product engineering, purchasing, and so on. Give the manual to the boss. He says he will look at it. A week later, I asked how his review was going. It's still in his in-basket. He picks it up and hefts it. It's too much, he says. Cut it down. I protested that it would take 2 weeks. Fine, just do it. I was so mad I walked outside for 10 minutes back and forth while thinking of quitting. There was no way to remove all this essential information in 2 weeks. But we had a nice copy machine. That is printed on 2 sides. And I got to fiddle in a big lab full of computers for 2 weeks with no responsibilities at all. On the next trip, he lifted it up, weighed it in his hand, and then signed it. I never turned a single page. The only problem was that product engineering refused to sign off. They wanted it in 4 layers. So, another department redid the PCB for a month. I was in geek heaven. It was the best job I ever had. Well, that's all for this video. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all in the next one.